Man, I hope this lens doesn't make me look fat.
There's only one thing that we love more than eating food with chopsticks, and that's photography.
It's true, Mark. That lens made you look fat. It was hard to believe that we could make your head look any bigger.
I know.
But
I have a big head. So.
But hey, the Chopstick guys here are with you today, and we are going to be talking about lens focal length. A really exciting subject.
It is. But we're talking about portrait lens selection tonight.
Yeah. So I think, when I was just making fun of it, it's like a really exciting subject. I've watched so many YouTube videos about focal length, and I fall asleep on everyone, right?
You mean we're not going to focus on someone's head?
No, it's
this
like they
big
show,
and
30 images. Okay, here's this lens, this lens, this lens. We're not doing that.
I have to admit, I have a video, and I can put it up if you guys are really interested in seeing
No, thank you.
a head explode and come back.
So, hey, we've got kind of a buffet of lenses sitting out here on the table today. We've got, what do we have? We have our 50.
Yep.
We've got a 7200 sticking over here. We've got an 85. We're shooting right now with a 35 that's on camera. And we've got a 24 to 70.
Yep.
So
all are just like the staples of a portrait photographer.
99.9% of the people use all of them.
Notice we didn't have the 105. We didn't have the 14 to 24s. We're just sticking with portrait aperture.
Stuff that's probably in your bag.
Yeah.
Right. So, let's talk a little bit about this and why you would use a particular lens for portraiture.
Exactly.
Or why you wouldn't.
Because the first thing is, none of these lenses are wrong. All of these lenses are incredible portrait lenses. They just have different uses. The one that's on camera, 35 millimeter.
35, one of my favorites.
One of your favorites, why?
It just gives an extremely natural look, right? When I've been told this, I don't know if it's true, but I've been told that it's actually the same field of vision as your eyeballs see. So when you look through the lens, like that's what your eyes are seeing, that's what the lens is seeing, that's what the camera is picking up. Yeah. So it just gives me a great focal length for things like weddings. I do a lot of the engagement sessions with that because it's just nice. I get some background, but also really can focus.
I like it because it's just wide enough to where you can incorporate, like you said, the backgrounds.
Yep.
If you're someone who loves editorial style, you'll find that many editorial style photographers use a 35 millimeter
on a full frame
because of that.
Yep.
And
it's also great for video.
Yep. Perfect for video. So the next one up is our 50 millimeter. The nifty 50.
That's right.
I
never shoot with. I have it in my bag. I bring it with me everywhere, but
I shoot with mine all the time.
You do?
I do.
Why?
Here's what I like. I actually like working close to a subject. I've heard the same reasoning, of,
like how close?
I like right here when I'm working, like you saw earlier. No. But there are many times where I like to fill a frame with someone's face. The fact is, with this, I can work very closely, and it doesn't distort their face. It just feels like a natural feel to me. Many times, if you're shooting something like a wedding, you're stuck working inside of a bathroom trying to see people getting ready, not voyeuristically, but just, you're trying to capture them, get their hair done. You don't have space to move back.
Yeah, so real quick before we move on, but this lens is cost me $109. Yeah. So it's like the cheapest lens you could buy, a great starter lens.
If you're new to photography and you're like, I want to get into portraiture, but I don't want to spend a whole bunch of money or street photography, that's the lens.
Yep.
$120 or below. You can find those things used for $80.
Yeah, this is the old version. They have a newer version that's a little bit more expensive.
It's a sharp lens.
Super sharp. So what else we got here?
85.
Okay, this guy.
That's the one everybody's talking about the last few years.
I love my 85. Yeah. And, you were not a fan of the 85 focal length until a few weeks ago when we visited WPPI.
And we hit that Sigma booth, and I put that 85 millimeter art lens on my camera, and I didn't even realize my camera was capable of putting files out. It was magic.
But I use this lens all the time. Anytime I'm out shooting portraits, this lens is on my camera. It is super sharp. And this is the 1.8 version from Nikon. It cost me under $500. They have a 1.4 version that's like $1,500, which I say,
okay,
why spend an extra $1,000? But this one it fits everything perfectly. We were joking around about your fat head earlier, right? But this one, if I take a picture of you,
no fat head.
No, your fat head looks perfect. So, actually, let's show a picture that we took with the 85.
Okay.
And you can see that it looks great. Like everything is in proportion. So, not normally something you'd see.
And I always hear people talking about, well, this has better bokeh or bokeh, whatever that blurry stuff is in the background, than the 50 or than the 35. I don't really. No. I see a difference, but I gotta really look to see the difference. If you have to stop me to convince me that it's better, you're gonna have a hard time. So let's move into not our fixed focal lengths, but our zoom lenses.
24 to 70.
It's the workhorse.
The holy grail.
It is.
It's like this is the lens that you want to use for everything.
Yeah,
If you're
exactly.
not going prime, this is the lens to have in your bag.
Don't let people fool you and say, "Oh no, you need to shoot primes because they're sharper."
No.
How much sharper?
This is incredibly sharp to begin with. But the cool thing about this is just the focal length. It's just amazing. So, I have a friend that actually shoots a lot of humanitarian photography. He went on some trips. He usually brings a buffet of lenses. Last time he just brought a 24-70 and it changed his world because he didn't break his back carrying a bunch of stuff.
That's right. And then the next time somebody says, "Oh, these are sharper lenses, these primes than this," you just go grab last year's rangefinder portrait or picture of the year and say, "It was shot with this lens."
Yep, 24-70.
Your friend shot that picture with this lens. So,
all right.
this is the lens that I
boy.
tend to be using the most these days. This is the 70-200. I love working at the long end of things. I love working at 200, and it isn't because I think it makes people look better. I hear that excuse all the time. I like it because it isolates the background.
Yeah, it compresses, right?
It does. So, yeah, if we were to look at, here's our subject and here's our background, if the longer the lens that I shoot it with, the more it's going to zoom that background in. So I can make things that look small in the background suddenly look large.
This is what we use at shooting in a lot of our workshops, right? Is that this big bad boy, just being able to shoot at a distance and pulling that background. Yeah. You see that a lot in fashion photography.
And if you like to shoot off-camera flash like we like to shoot, many times our soft boxes are just sitting, a foot away from a subject. Now with this long lens, I can zoom right in and I don't even see that soft box.
That's just kind of a little overview. In fact, if you look at the picture, I just wanted to show a picture real quick, taken with the compression. If you look at this picture, you'll actually see how that subject is completely isolated, and that's due to using that long lens.
It allows you to shoot people wherever you want. This is the workhorse for senior portraits.
Yep. But, looking at these lenses today, a lot of you guys have them in your camera bags, but use them for different things, different subjects.
Don't ever let somebody tell you one's better than another.
Not at all.
It really depends on your style of shooting, and it depends on the situation.
Yep. And these are all Nikon lenses here today, but Canon, exact same thing applies.
Yep. Tamron, Sigma.
Sigma.
Amazing lenses these
all
days.
Good stuff.
So.
All right.
Hi. Talking raw. Talking raw.
Woohoo!
All right.
Sushi time.
You're going to eat the sushi.
Yep.
In our segment of Talking Raw today, what I want to do is I want to show you something inside of Photoshop. It's also in Lightroom. It's also in Camera Raw. Lens correction.
Yep.
Every single lens has a little bit of what they call barrel distortion. You're having
I'm
a little trouble
I'm-
there. Are you sure you're a chopstick guy?
I know, that piece of sushi just exploded.
It kind of like bends the picture out, is just naturally what it's going to do. As photographers, a lot of times we look at it and go, that looks good to me. But in reality, there is a distortion. You'll see it a lot when you photograph things with straight horizons. So I'm inside of Photoshop this week. We've been looking at Lightroom. You can do this in Lightroom as well. So I'm just going to run up here where it says Filter, and I'm going to choose Lens Correction. This is also found in Camera Raw. Now, what you can see first when we go to Auto Correction is the tab that's going to be probably open in yours.
Right.
I'm going to go here to my search criteria. I'm going to choose, it already knows that my camera is going to be a Nikon. I can come down, I can select, let's select what model of camera we've used. And then it gives me this list of all of the Nikon lenses.
But when you did that, even when you just selected the camera, I
You
noticed
watched
that
it move.
the image actually changed.
Now watch this. When I actually choose here, 24-70, did you see how that just changed? There was just enough where you're going to go, I don't know that it did a lot. It did a lot. So it's going to straighten a lot of things out in this image. Now, if a lot of times I've seen over the years, a lot of wedding photographers now are starting to take with a really wide, they'll get a 14 millimeter lens and they'll capture everything inside there. But it's very barrel distorted. All you have to do is come in under the custom tab. And right here, now I can choose how much of that distortion I want to add or take away. So, and then a lot of times now our sensors are so big, we can shoot wide, then we can crop that down into that section, remove that barrel distortion, we have a usable photo.
Super useful.
So this is something you'd use quite a bit. If you find that you're fighting those horizon lines, throw it into lens correction and see what you can do. Really simple.
And we can do this on Lightroom too.
Easy tip. You do it in Lightroom, you do it in Camera Raw, you can do it right inside of Photoshop.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things probably everybody should be doing for every important image.
Yes. If I'm going to print an image, I want to run it through lens correction.
Perfect. Awesome. Great tip for you today.
It is now time for Fortunate Questions with the Chopstick Guys.
Hey, let's see where our fortunate question's coming from today.
Where it is. Well, I got half a question.
Yeah, so where's the other half of the question?
let's stick these together. It is.
Make sure they line up there.
It does. Hey, it's from our friend Rohini in India.
Oh,
pretty good. Rohini says, "Are you coming back to India?" Great question.
it is. You know, it's funny. That's a question I get asked.
Tell us why we went to India. What did we do?
Those of you that don't know, we're going to put a link down below into the description. We started a program called Focus of a Child where we went along with one of our friends, another photographer, to Kolkata, India for 1 month and taught children. One long month. Children in India photography.
Yes, we did.
So we taught at a school that was a little more structured, and then we taught at this incredible center in the red light district of Kolkata, and we worked with children of the workers of that area. It was life-changing.
And Rohini was one of the people that was actually at the center that we worked in the red light district. Does amazing work there. But you know, that trip was kind of a personal project for us, but also, I mean, it was a pretty fulfilling thing. It was. You know, just what it meant to us to be able to teach these kids, and watching what the kids did. The kids created masterpieces, and we were just blown away.
Again, look below, go to Focus of a Child, and take a look at what these kids did.
But here's the thing. Yeah, we are going to be going back to India. I don't know exactly when, potentially this October or November, but it's the kind of thing we would love for some of you guys to come along with us. If you're interested at all in doing some of these type of projects, go ahead and send us a message here. You can even put it right on the YouTube page. Say, yes, I'm interested in traveling.
We have places to stay and things for you to do. There are lots of work to do with your camera.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, we will be traveling back again. I just don't know exactly when, but absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
So give me some food for thought. Let's end this show with some food for thought.
Well, I think it kind of goes along to what we were just talking about, the India thing, and just giving back. You know, I think it's so important as photographers to not just say, okay, this is my job only, but really, photography for me is a lifestyle. It's more than a job. Yeah. And to bring in the things like Focus of a Child into this makes it all worthwhile. It's like, this is why I was created.
Somebody asked me about going to India, and they went, "You're going to go in there and teach photography? Why?" And I said, because I'm a photographer.
Yep.
You know, if I was a doctor, I would go and help kids do doctor stuff. If I was a plumber, I'd go and help them do plumbing. But I'm a photographer, and so I was able to use the gifts and talents that I have. Yep. So we were at WPPI convention not too long ago. We ran across this booth. We were going to bring it. And again,
is pretty amazing stuff.
Yeah, I'll link this also in the description below. It's called Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep. This is an amazing organization, and this is not an organization for everyone. I'll just tell you flat out. It's something that I don't believe that I could do.
It's hard. Tell them what it is. I mean, it's like...
So if you look back here, the first thing I picked it up and I went, oh, infant photography. And they said, no, these are infants that have passed away, and the families will never have portraits of their children.
So these are volunteer photographers that go into hospital situations that... The
parents have asked for this.
The baby just died basically at birth, and it's the only family portrait that they'll ever get. But I mean, just in an organization, and we were talking to the director there, what a heart she has. But it's one of those organizations, if that's anything that you guys think that you might want to do, hit the link below, contact them. There's a little thing
to fill out, and they need photographers. It's something they said, we are in need of photographers.
Both Mark and I walked away from their booth and we're like, wow, that's incredible. I mean, we were both moved by what she was saying, and we love for you guys to participate in that. So again, giving back, I think, is our food for thought. Do it. It's really, really important. But
it's a great show. I want you guys to make sure you like and subscribe.
Yes.
Follow the links there, here, wherever they're going to be. And subscribe to our show.
And hit that little bell button too. That actually gets you
notified that we have new episodes each week. Every Tuesday, join us here for the Panoptic Chopstick Show.
That's right. Everybody have a great week. We will catch you again next week.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.